All right, guys, your Msoe explanation sheet. Workouts 1, 2, and 3. Now, the workouts basically are in order to be done each week. Try not to skip around, right? They're specifically set up so that they're progressive, that they're built on one another. When you go through this, if you don't know how this is laying out, this whole quadrant that we're looking at right here, actually, let me get this highlighted a little better. Right here, this whole thing is workout number 1. So make sure that you get everything in this done if you can. Preferably should be done in around 45 minutes or less, right? It may take up to an hour if there's a lot of strength in the strength work in the main lift, because there may be up to 2 minutes rest, sometimes up to 3 minutes if it's really heavy. But most of the stuff should be done with little to no rest to keep fatigue high, to make sure that you're consistently getting stronger and also becoming more resilient to that fatigue status while still completing all your reps. So we have the set, which is basically comprised of a bunch of repetitions. So let's say you're doing a squat, right? So every time you go up and down, it's 1 rep. Say you do how many reps equals 1 set. Now, what is a tempo, may you ask? And in here written, we have the first 3 equals bringing the weight down, so the down phase of the squat. 1 would be the 1 second pause at the bottom. 3 would be 3 seconds up, and 1 would be a pause at the top, all of which we want it timed with 2 minutes rest. So make sure that you do not cut your rest short. You want to rest enough, especially if it's a main lift, otherwise you will get weaker instead of stronger. We're doing strength training, not make yourself weakening training, right? So make sure that you are getting stronger. Overall, warm-ups. Right, this whole idea of the warm-up, really what this should be called for everybody from here on out is preparation. Like you're preparing for the main lift. You're also getting yourself in a ready state. And ready meaning you should not be completely worn out from what you're doing prior to complete the main lift. If you are, then we have to get better and more resilient with these beginning preparations or warm-ups, right? So it's general physical preparation. We're building up your work capacity. If your general physical preparation isn't on point, you're going to fizzle out throughout the year. You want to enhance your recovery through the year. This is why we're doing this warm-up, because all of us have certain weak points. Now, if you're practicing how to get better on these weak points with low level but not easy challenges that are progressive, you build up resiliency and also bounces back faster. So if you want really quick recovery, get better at these warm-ups, right? So after completing the warm-up, you should be tired. It's not to failure. You should complete all 25 reps for all 4 sets, leave 1 to 2 reps in the tank, and make sure that your form is impeccable. The whole idea is that you're paying attention to the form, not just busting out 25 reps. So make sure, again, you're writing in with the weight section, what you've done, how many reps that you got, and there's plenty and ample room to do that. The way this is set up, you see 1A, 1B, and 1C here. Now, this is to be done 1A first, 1B second, 1C third, and then back to 1A, then 1B, 1C, whenever you see that delineated. If you see a structure like this, where it's 1A and 1B and then 2. This is just saying that the first sequence, you go from 1A to 1B and back to 1A and then back to 1B for between 2 to 4 sets. And then when we're finished, we go to number 2 with all that, with taking a minute rest in between this. Let's talk about the max sheet. I'm going to bring that up real quick. So the max sheet, also known as the master sheet. Right? We have a couple different master sheets. We have a baseline master sheet, and we have an updated master sheet, and we'll have these squat sheets and bench sheets and whatnot. You're only worried about the baseline master sheet and the updated master sheet. Those of us that are in data collection, baseline means the very first marker, right? So make sure that this data subset that you have, that you're collecting only your very first 6 repetition max squat, your 6 repetition bench, 6 repetition chin up if you're doing weighted chin ups, and 6 RM deadlifts. So do not write multiple entries under chin up. Do not write multiple entries under deadlift. We want to see where you started, and with the updated master sheet, where you're going to end up. So we have some way to correlate how your performance increased with your strength, or your accuracy with your strength, or your endurance with your strength, or if they didn't correlate. All that to show what it is that we're doing, how effective we can be, for which indicators matter most to how well you perform and how well you recover. So make sure that, again, when you are doing this, you're concerned with the baseline master sheet for your very first marker or your first weight for your 6RM and whatever exercise that you're doing. And then from there, update it regularly with the 6RM with the updated master sheet. Very, very clear cut. The rest of these sheets here will use the 6RM to have an idea of, roughly where you should end up with your weights. So if you're pretty far off the marker, right, we'll provide you, let's say Riley as a squat of 135 pounds, right? And we want to do speed work with the squat. So he's doing, 60 pounds here. You're going to round it to 5 pounds every time, or 2.5 pounds. So say it's 60 pounds right here, 70 pounds. Right here would be 75 pounds, and vice versa. And it was way too heavy, right? Or, man, he blew it out of the water and it was light. So from there, he's going to put down in this box a plus or a minus. So, and how much he went up. Did he go up at the end? Did he go up 5 pounds? Did he go up, did he go up 10 pounds? So we want to know, is it 10 pounds? Or did he go down 5 pounds, right? So make sure that you can write down minus 10. If you don't give us feedback, we can't correct this. And the whole point of this is to make this sheet as accurate as possible, depending upon how your output is for the day. Make sure you do not change the 6RM number. That's right here. The only thing that we would like you to do is make sure that you provide us with an idea of whether or not we're off 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds and in what direction. We'll make sure that you guys have videos from time to time to explain how certain exercises are done. If you have any questions for us, please make sure that you do not hesitate to ask, because we can't read your mind. Remember what the whole reason for this plan is: increased performance, increased resiliency. Put in the time, put in the effort, make sure you communicate with your coaches, and you'll have one heck of an off season.